What is going on? I'm Zedmont. We're going to do something kind of different today, but sort of the same. You know the whole deal. We're going to jump into warships. Now, I am at rank 1, 0 stars, 0 chests, 0 anything. Now, I want to paint you a picture. Close your eyes, relax, get somewhere comfortable, and imagine you are a player who has just started Boom Beach. You are finally reaching HQ level 10. You're super excited because there's this thing called warships, and you haven't played it before. And maybe you reach HQ level 10 in the middle of a season, maybe you make it at the beginning of a season. Regardless, you haven't played warships before, and you jump in and you look at the tech tree and you're like, cool, I gotta spend some stuff. And maybe you spend some keys and I'm gonna buy Rifleman. I'm gonna assume that other people maybe didn't quite plan that quite so well. My experiences with warships means that I'm going to be a little bit cautious about how I spend. There's no unspending here, by the way. Now, maybe you make a mistake, and this is what you come into. I started this account 2 days ago. It is now sitting at rank 12. If you have a look at my win-loss record, it's very good. I am crushing warships. I am very good at warships, 85.4%. Am I having fun at warships? Not a frickin' chance. If we look at this, 62%, 61%, someone won, but did they really? Anyways, like just no engine rooms, no engine rooms. I got one, they got none, I got none. Like, this is just a bloodbath. This is ridiculous and not awesome or fun. So Supercell really needs to up their game as far as creating these early tech trees. The fact that there are only riflemen and or cryoneers, I mean, sure, Zuka's over there, but you've got cannons, machine guns, sniper towers, mortars, and then just as a bonus, you get 2 more of them. So we've got, what is this build number? Where does our build number on this? Build count, 5 cannons. We've got 6 machine guns for a total of 11 defenses, plus we've got another 4 of these, 15 defenses. Yep, my math skills are max level. Up to 19, 21 defenses, plus we have a total of 25 mines. Just a bloodbath. So I'm going to do a quick replay of this 61% versus 62%. This is what a brand new player, super eager, super excited, jumping into warships, full of vim and vinegar, or whatever that expression is, dropping their troops, and watching them all die. Now, not only are you losing, but you also can't play because you don't have any troops, because every single one of your troops is dying. Now, some of you might be arguing and saying, hey, Supercell, they're getting all sorts of revenue off diamonds. People are spending diamonds to get their troops, or they're getting instant training. Do you think this person who's never bought instant training right now, their instinct is, hey, let me go spend some money on this game? Not a frickin' chance. There is no way you're going to convert that person. I mean, like, maybe 2% of the people are going to be, like, super stubborn, but let's be honest, this is not good for the game. With that in mind, back to the painting picture. Yes, you can call me Bob Ross. We're going to drop our defenses. We're going to see just how far I can go before I lose and or run out of diamonds and troops. So one of the important details here is that the typical Boom Beach player is all about having flares. You don't have flares until you get past this engine room, and you need to be, what level engine room is that? Okay, so you can get this regardless. That's a good thing. But you can't get past 3 engine rooms without it. So that's, at least you can get flares no matter what. That's a good thing. If flares were past the 4 engine room level, it'd just be beyond ridiculous. Now, we're going to force all of the people to go to the right-hand side. That is a pretty simple, easy way to make sure that they're going to be slower than you. I'm going to guess that many people that we're going to attack here only have cryoneers, and if they have riflemen, they're going to set up their bases, 1 on each side, so we can just split drop, and Bob is your uncle. See that? Bob Ross, Bob's your uncle. Bob reference. Even easier, we can just go something like this. Now, I'm going to do my darndest to keep all of my troops alive, because those mines. I probably should have dropped one boat to clear the mines, but we're going to get this Lego shock right there. Of course I'm going to miss it because I almost always miss that shock. Now, we've got level 1 shocks, not the end of the world. Shouldn't make a massive issue, but also those mines also are going to be fairly low level. So in theory, we shouldn't lose too many troops here, maybe like 3 on that left-hand side. The fact that this person's got mines already means that they're almost certainly all Cryoneers. Look at this. Could you imagine being this Squiggles player who doesn't have any riflemen? All they've got is Cryoneers, and they're sitting there watching this attack. Like, which part of this screams, oh my gosh, I've got to play this. I need to stop my life, take the day off work, and play Warships. So for those of you who don't play Warships, I fully understand your reasoning. There's a lot of fun to be had, but there's also drastic flaws. Now, I think they force quit. Did they force quit? Nope. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pause this video so you don't have to watch all Cryoneers take down the engine rooms. I can't, like, this just makes me rage because I love Boom Beach so much. I am going to be submitting a season of Warships to the Boom Beach dev team. If you have suggestions, hit me up in the comments. I am not saying that I can do better, or actually I am saying I can do better. I am not saying that the season I submit will be perfect. Guaranteed there are things that they have in their pipeline that I will overlook. But this 2 engine room level has to be easier. This has to draw you in. You can't just lose every single one of your troops and be done after 3 attacks. I realize I'm very likely preaching to the choir. I realize that I'm stating things that have been stated 29 other times. We are on season 30 at this point, but clearly it's not cluing in. So I will pause. I'll be back in a second or 2. Just like that, we've got our first win. They did get all the engine rooms, but it took 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Not awesome, not exciting, not fun, but at least we're winning, I guess. So, and I gotta say, I mean, I'm having fun. I like Warships. I like this season of Warships. There's a lot of fun stuff, but I've got instant training, and I'm already well past this. I'm using rocket choppers or seekers and heavy choppas, and if those were introduced early on, guaranteed there'd be issues with that. People would be unhappy with that as well, and so I get it. They are going to have people complaining regardless of what they do, but it's got to be fun. Even if people complain that it's a race, at least, like, if with artillery and barrage early in the season, at least it's fun and you can keep playing and progress and get further. So anyways, we are going to keep going to see how far, and again, same thing. Oh, people, please, if this is something that you did as well, do consider subscribing to the channel. Every single season I put out a getting started, a quick start guide to Warships. Every single season, I will from now on be overly clear about what a level 1 player should be doing, because we can't have this. If you and I can help people out by just, I mean, if my video, if there's tips in it, please share them in your task force. Let your people know, hey, Warships is fun. Just make sure you don't make these mistakes. And if you ever come across a season where you're like, man, Zed didn't mention this, always, I reply to every single comment now, or at least give you a heart in the comments. Not every comment is designed to be replied to, but I do my very best. So one more time, I'm going to pause. We'll come back with when this person is done, and then hopefully attacks will get better and faster and stronger, and things will get... Oh, there we go. Hopefully they didn't retreat. They did. So if you're ever in that scenario, just force quit. Your Cryoneers will go do their goodness. Don't worry about your opponent. Get those engine rooms. Keep progressing. Makes me a little bit sad that Spencer A retreated there, because the way you get further is by getting engine rooms, and at the lower levels you can also get further by simply winning. So Again, we're going to keep all of our troops over here. This person, remember that people don't have flares. If you can draw their troops somewhere else, it can help you win. And we're in the process going to get a little bit of practice on that Lego shock, because heaven knows that I definitely miss that shock more often than I hit it, and might as well shock that cannon back there as well, because cannons against riflemen, you're more likely to lose a troop in this early season to that level 1 cannon than you are to that level 3 machine gun. So, boom, shakalaka, trying to keep things on the positive note. This person did go get riflemen. That is fantastic. Now, the other note is, in the early season, it's worth upgrading your Cryoneers. They get more health, they clear more mines, their beams go farther. But those players who get to skip this early stuff also get to skip having to spend tokens on Cryoneers and stuff like that. So it's definitely worth trying to finish high in this season, even if you're just starting, just so that you can start even higher next season. Now, one of the other things that I've considered doing, and I'd love to hear your comments on this, is these boxes down in here. If we go look in the tech tree, we see that wooden tier has 11 keys and stone tier has 12. And so if you start higher up, you progress faster than the people who start behind. I am proposing that we do a season where all of the unlock tokens and the upgrade tokens are exactly the same across all of the chests. Whether you're in Legendary or in Wood, I think it would be super, super interesting. Not necessarily for an always season, and definitely, I mean, the gold and iron and fragments and stuff like that, those can change and be increased the higher level chest you get, but I think that it would just make it for more parity if those keys and tokens were exactly the same in all chests. It might piss off some people who worked really hard to get into Legendary so they could start in Gold the next season, but I think that we need to focus on making it fun and competitive for the people who aren't already on the leaderboards, I think. Again, love to hear your comments on that. Those are the kind of things that go through my head when I'm playing Warships. They aren't necessarily right. I just threw 2 shocks there at the same time, apparently. I was wondering where the rest of my Gunboat Energy went. But this person did the smart things, splitting your engine rooms up, but unfortunately all of their defenses lead directly to both of their engine rooms. So do build a base, put like 3 seconds worth of thought into it, and that's the problem, is that people, when they first start playing Warships, they're used to regular Boom Beach. They're used to everyone having flares. They're used to everyone thinking Kavan sucks, and suddenly Kavan's good and you don't have flares. So definitely different game as we take down God by the slimmest of margins. We get that chest. Also, we go and get this chest right in there. Of course, the chest timer should start at 2 out of 4 instead of 4 out of 4, so time zones aren't an issue, but we're not going to focus on that at the moment. Now, I'm going to upgrade my rifleman, and you might be wondering why, and that's because that reserve size. I don't have instant training, so by upgrading your troops, you get a bigger reserve size. That allows you to play for longer and have more fun playing the game. So a lot of you probably screaming, upgrade your landing craft. But we are not going to do that. I'm going to hold off for the second. We're going to get a couple mines, and in the process, going to give ourselves a little bit more chance of kicking all sorts of butt. Now, these mines, I'm just going to put right across here to make people not be able to do that late drop. Then with the rest of our mines, I'm going to go something like this, drawing a path directly towards our engine room. And this video is kind of a bonus video. This is not your standard video from me. I know I try to sugarcoat things quite a bit, and in this video we're doing a little bit less of that than normal, but it's interesting to me, and it's something that I've done this before in the last time we had Cryoneers as our starting troop, just to see if it was possible without instant training, and it is. It's not necessarily possible, and fun are 2 very different conversations, though, unfortunately. So, boom, shakalaka, just like that, splitting our troops. Yes, we could be a little bit faster if we had 8 landing crafts, but I think we're still going to be pretty darn awesome. and should be able to win this battle without any difficulty at all. Those increased level riflemen plus the increased level of mines and machine guns and stuff like that should be able to give us the win against PLK. And PLK is hating life right now. Look at this. They've got 8 landing crafts, but look what they're full of. Cryoneers. I wish we could see what level troops our opponents use. I don't think that shows up. No, that definitely doesn't show up. So that would be kind of neat if you could see what level they had, especially if it showed the level in terms of the tech level as opposed to the troop level from the main base. And of course, there's other things as well, like being able to share replays and use friendly challenges. Did this person retreat? Yes, they did. So just showing that our complete dominance is A, wasting their troops, and B, we're also not helping them get forward because they can't go forward because of the, what am I trying to say here? Because of they're not getting those chests. So back when it used to be about you just win to get a chest, little bit different, little bit better in some ways, worse in other ways. And now we just need to get all of our troops. Those mines shouldn't be a big concern. They're only level like 1 mines. You can tell by the number of them. I'm kind of tempted to upgrade my mines to max, but then not place anymore just to try and totally mess with people. Oh, look, they've only got 5 mines. They must be low level, and then poof. But that would be silly. Anyways, down goes that base. Our win streak, I'm going to put our win streak, my assumption, my guess, at a level of 12. That is my absolute and complete ballpark guess, thrown out of left field. I thought that said Luongo for a second, but picking up wins, not winning by a ton though, but now all of a sudden we're getting those extra keys, those extra upgrade dealios, and we're going to get a slightly better landing craft. That is going to be huge. And then look at that. We're going to be, do I go mines? I'm going to go mines. I think that mines will give us a better advantage than those extra troops. Yes, we'll go a little bit faster with those extra troops, but just being able to spread our mines out a little bit more and destroy even more troops, even though I'm going to be a little bit sad doing it because I hate destroying people's troops, we should be able to do some magic here and keep that win streak alive. So this stream, this video is all about, should have done a live stream actually, is all about getting the longest possible win streak, even though I gotta say, if you're in this scenario and you face up against another base that has ridiculous amounts of defenses and you're stuck, do consider leading by example and throwing an engine room off to one side so that people can get one engine room and progress. I realize you're going to lose on occasion, but the more people that do that, the better off we're going to be. So now then, let's go 1 and 2 in there. We're going to drop a Cryoneer there, a Cryoneer there, Cryoneer here, Cryoneer there. I haven't been able to keep track. What do we got? We got more boats on that left-hand side than right. And so at this point, what are those guys called? Cryoneers have not done an adequate job of clearing mines, unfortunately, but I think we should still be okay. If I wipe, the win streak is going to be over and I can go have lunch, which is not the worst thing in the world. Now, speaking of going somewhere and or having lunch, I'm going to toot my own horn for a second here. Out of the blue, my wife is a teacher, and I was going to bring her coffee, and I decided, hey, ask and 2 of my kids go to the same school. I said, hey, ask all of the teachers if they want coffee, and I was utterly and completely blown away. And when I say blown away, I mean like full on blown away. We've all done things for our kids' teachers whether it be cards or gifts or whatever the heck it is, I literally brought like a $4 coffee or $2 coffee. One of them wanted drip. And the emails I got in response were off the charts. Now, 3 of the 4 teachers that work around my wife are on stress leave. These are 20-year veteran teachers completely and utterly losing their minds because parents are being just over the top. Speaking of leading by example, big shout out to this person who are on stress leave. And so if you have kids, please don't email your kid's teacher unless you want to bring them a coffee or something. Let them know they're doing a good job. So what my entire point of that was, without going into COVID or details or angry stuff, if you have kids who are in school, please consider dropping off a coffee for your kid's teacher. I've done gift cards and all that stuff in the past, and it's been well appreciated, but on a Friday, dropping off a hot coffee, it blew my mind. Like, I'm not one to talk about stuff like accomplishments or nice things or whatever, but the response, like, absolutely floored me. So I figured I'd pass that on in case one person out there decides to do it. Please do so. Please let me know. It's one of those things that it was like irrational. Like, it was just, okay, moving forwards, we have beat Lady J. Thankfully, they've got both my engine rooms down. Big shout out to Lady J for throwing those engine rooms out front, because that is going to help a lot of people at rank 3. Not really required. Everyone should be able to get them down unless they only have Cryoneers, I suppose. But we are going to go the exact opposite route. We are going to turn ourselves into big, mean jerks. We're going to get even more mines, and we are just going for winning and nothing else. We're just going to completely and utterly ignore the state of the game and the needs of the players and the tech tree and all that, and we're just going to punch everyone in the face. So we did something nice earlier today. Now we're going to do something not nearly as nice. And speaking of, this person has done something very, very similar. You terrible, terrible person. We are going to see how we can do against this base. Thankfully, we have maxed our rifles. Now, if you're wondering why I'm dropping those troops ever so slowly and ever so spread out, it's because that way some of them clear mines and other ones don't clear mines, and you end up with some of them hopefully living through all of this tragedy. They're going to go back to their kids and talk about how awful Season 30 was and how they got their faces melted by mines and mortars and things like that. And we might just right here lose our win streak. This is going to be incredibly, incredibly close. That mortar is snipping at our heels, and our troops are about to step on some of those mines. So we might just lose right here, at which point my video on my other two accounts I've gotten as far as a win streak of 12, and I think my other one was like 14, and I went, I think, 24-1, and I think we're gonna lose right here. We are about to lose against Squiggles Mick. I think it looks like they're throwing up the middle finger at us based on that right-hand side character. Come on, mines. Nope, they've got us. So gonna need to move my mines around a little teeny tiny bit. Clearly not enough mines, and I probably should have gone and gotten mortars instead. But look at this. We have only gotten to rank 3, and a smarter, better tech tree has taken us down, taken the wind out of my sails. So we still have some troops. Let me just double check to see. Nope, we ran out of troops as well. So I am going to, and we would have moved up our rank as well. Look at that. We would have gone into rank 4. That would have been amazing, but instead just a massive, 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 massive. And to increase the amount of shame, we got to sit here and wait for that player to finish off our base. Just so much delay. That's one of the beautiful things about Boom Beach Frontlines and about Brawl Stars. By the way, Code Zedmont works in both of those. It's back-to-back action, back-to-back fun, not having to wait 4 minutes for your opponent to use all Cryoneers to freeze your engine room. We're going to use all of our remaining troops, and then I'm going to use one more battle. We're going to get no more chests, and then I'm going to call it a day after this attack. So 1 bajillion times not your standard Zedmod video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. Also, I almost never, ever, ever release videos on the weekend, so hopefully this gave you a little bit of joy, even if it was just shaking your head or nodding in agreement with the complete and ridiculous antics that we threw towards our opponents. So this has been Zedmont trying not to be grumpy. like I said, I am going to submit my own warship season. If they accept it or not, I can't say. In the past, I was instrumental, to toot my own horn, in getting the warships decking layouts changed to be interesting and fun and different. So I'm hoping that they will be open to listening to new ideas of tech trees and things like that. And there's not a ton. Like, just to give the developers a bit of kudos here before I sign off, there's only so many troops. There's only so many different tech trees that they can have, and they've already shown with the Mega Crab that we've already had 12. They're just going to rotate them through. So if that were to happen, it wouldn't be the worst thing, but just trying to shed some light, even if it's by screaming and yelling and tearing back the curtain. That is all from me. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. More importantly, hit me up in the comments. And if you must, click that bell. Also, before you go, do check in your shop. Make sure you've got someone's name in your creator boost. Doesn't matter which game it is, but make sure you've got someone's name in there. If I'm going to preach to you, I might as well preach to you one last time. I hope you put Zmod in there, but just make sure you put someone in. Anyways, that is all for me. Massive. It sounds like I'm grumpy, but I'm actually in a pretty good mood today. So I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. I'm Zmod. Peace.